Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this video, we're going to talk about the planets and we're going to talk about Freemason ownership over scientific understanding, especially our understanding of space. In addition to the planets, we're going to be talking about NASA. At the end of this video, I'll also briefly touch on the ongoing debate spherical Earth versus flat Earth. Where I want to begin is with the discovery of the three most recent planets Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. If you're not aware, all of the other planets were discovered in the ancient times. Uranus was discovered in 1781, Neptune shortly after, and Pluto shortly after that. What all three of their discoveries have in common is date numerology. All three planets were discovered on dates with life lesson numbers of 33. And in gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, planets equals 33. That is the number of Freemason obsession. Before we get deeper into this, I just want to show you this video. It is from the Freemason Lodge tour of Washington, D.C., the U.S. Capitol, the nation that gave birth to NASA. I want you to watch this short clip, Who Are the Masons? And I want you to hear what they say about the astronauts who have been to space for NASA. Listen carefully, this isn't super loud.
Now, I want you to call off the names and see if you can recognize these faces.
Knights Templar cross, Knights Templar, Freemasonry, interrelated.
I learned that almost all of our astronauts have been Freemasons.
Did you hear it? He said he learned that almost all of our astronauts have been Freemasons. And in all those pictures, you see a lot of 33. 33rd degree, that Master Mason degree, very important in Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Astronauts wear the color orange. Orange in gematria sums to 33 like planets. So let's take a look at this. Planets in Pythagorean gematria sums to 24 and 33, just like the sun. The sun. The word planet in Jewish gematria, the singular, sums to 226. And the reason that stands out to me is because out of all the planets, the one that has the most significance to the occult, to the ancient cultures, is Saturn. Saturn, the sixth planet. Saturn sums to 93, and there's a relationship in history between the numbers 93 and 226. When you write out 226, it sums to 93. I find it very interesting that planet has this Jewish gematria, which connects back to Saturn when it is the planet of the greatest significance. Saturn is known as the keeper of time. In this world that we live in, what the true keeper of time is the sun, and science tells us the sun is 93 million miles away. A lot like the gematria of Saturn, 93. So I'll link this post. There's a lot of important information here. This is going to be lengthy though, so I want to get to what is most significant. And we'll start with Jupiter, the fifth planet, because what Galileo discovered about this planet with its moons changed the way modern science thought about this world. In 1610, Galilei turned his rudimentary telescope on Jupiter and realized that it had 4 large moons orbiting it: Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. This was an important discovery because it demonstrated that the Earth was not the center of the universe as proponents of the geocentric view believed. So, once him seeing that there was this other planet out there that had moons going around it, just like Earth, essentially they said, oh, Earth's not so unique. And then the discovery supposedly came that all these planets were going around the sun, where prior they thought the Earth was the center of the universe and the sun and the moon were going around it, which could possibly be true. By the end of this, I'm going to get to the point that we have definitely been deceived, but just because we've been deceived, we can't say, oh, well, then it automatically means this. So anyway, when we learned about this in elementary school, middle school, as we were growing up, the discovery by Galileo, the belief that the Earth was no longer the center of the universe, it was going around the sun with the rest of the planets, most of us read in our history books how the Catholic Church, was very much opposed to this and was beheading astronomers, people who were supporting this theory. We all learned about this in our textbooks. I find it very interesting that Galileo's name has the same gematria as Catholic Church. We learned in our textbooks that the Catholics had to rewrite the Bible to make the Earth no longer the center of the universe. What else is really interesting about Jupiter and its discovery changing the geocentric model is that Jupiter in gematria sums to the same thing as geocentric, and this coding of 99 also matches up with the word 13 in gematria. 13, a very significant number to this nation, the United States of America, created by Freemasons. It began with 13 colonies. There's 13 stripes on the flag. We go to school, public school, for 13 years, K to 12. USA in gematria sums to 41. 41 is the 13th prime number. I find it very interesting that Jupiter has this coding within it, matching geocentric. Geocentric, the small way, also has gematria matching sun. Think about this. The geocentric model is that the sun goes around the Earth. This discovery said that's no longer true. All the planets are going around the sun. Jupiter is known as the gas giant. Gas giant is a nickname with 33, like planets. 33 and 42 with the S exception, just like how the sun is 24 and 33. So the next planet after Jupiter, you know what? Before we move on to the next planet, I want to remind you about this from the 4th of July this year in the United States. On the 4th of July, 2016, it was announced that a mission which had departed August 5th, 2011, had arrived successfully at Jupiter and entered its orbit. These were the headlines from 4th of July. Welcome to Jupiter, same gematria as New World Order. The New World Order is a Masonic, Zionist, Jewish world order. Jupiter, Jewish. Look at this. Look at this right here. For the day that this happened, the 4th of July, Google changed their web page to look like this. This was the Google Doodle after Jupiter made its landing. This was supposed to be the probe that began its orbit on July 4th. And what it was doing is it was rotating. If you saw this on the 4th of July, it would rotate. And when it would get to this point, it would look like the letter Y. G-O-Y. And that word is goy. Goy. The word goy has gematria 47. The 4th of July, which can be written 4/7 this year, was a date with 47 numerology. The first time in 99 years. The last time it had been that was July 4th, 1917. The last time July 4th had 47 numerology, July 4th, 1970, 99 years earlier. And Jupiter equals 99. So goy is a derogatory term for somebody who's not Jewish. And think about this. On the 4th of July, this tribute on Google, the Goy tribute. And look at this. The number 47 is the 15th prime number. The probe that went into orbit on July 4th, 2016 was the Juno. Juno syncs up with the date it supposedly went into orbit. This landing came in the time of Cancer, just like the moon landing. The moon is, the symbol of Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon landing came in the time of Cancer. Notice that Cancer and space have the same gematria, as well as Juno probe. Juno probe. This happened on July 4th. Jupiter, the word Jewish equals 74, the word occult, the word Masonic, holiday. Same with Independence Day. And this is why our Independence Day is 7/4, because everything in this nation has been created by the Freemasons who abide by this number code. Very interesting that the planet was named Jupiter in light of understanding who our rulers truly are. This Masonic, Jewish, Zionist, one world order. The way this gang operates is with lies and deceit to control the minds of the people. So think about why they might give us a false understanding of what space is and the truth about planets and so many other things in this world. By us not understanding the truth of our reality, it makes us that much easier to control and manipulate. I want you to notice that this mission, again, it began August 5th, 2011, landed July 4th, 2016. August 5th can be written 5/8. NASA began October 1st, 1958. Freemasonry equals 58. So does secret society. So does science. Science equals 58. Freemason ownership over science. October is the only month with 33 gematria as well. So established in the year 58, the only month with 33 gematria. The date that the act was passed to set up NASA, July 29th, 1958, was a date with 113 numerology, like mainstream, like dishonest, like green screen, like Scottish, as in Scottish Rite Freemasonry, the branch of Freemasonry that has dominated this nation since it was created. And think about the green screen in light of what NASA shows so many people. So Galileo, credited with discovering the moons of Jupiter, then the rings of Saturn. Show you what's so interesting about this man, coming from Italy, just like the Vatican, like the Catholic Church, where we talked about the parallels. The date he was born was a date with 96 numerology, just like Freemason, like knowledge, like Satanism. Born on a date with a life lesson number of 33, like planets. Also, birth numerology of 24. Planets also sums to 24. He died on a date with 81 numerology. Or excuse me, he was born on a date with 81 numerology. He died on January 8th, which can be written 8/1. Venus in Gematria sums to 81. Venus is the sister planet of Earth. I don't know enough about astrology to fully understand it, but I'm hoping somebody with a greater astrology knowledge base will come across this work and connect the dots that I don't see yet. I am sure his death, though, somehow does factor into the alignment of Venus, his birth. There's some reason that he died on this date, January 8th, in light of having the 81 birth numerology, no doubt. This Masonic gang over the years has murdered their own by the numbers, and oftentimes the deaths coincide with the birthdays. He died in the year 42 Galileo, January 8th, 1642. 42, the word Freemason, the small way sums to 42. The big way, 96. If you add the divisors of the number 42, they sum to 96. The date he died was a date with 67 numerology, Freemasonry 67, blood sacrifice 67, Italy 67, where he was, satanic. He died 38 days before his 78th birthday. Death equals 38. And, his discoveries are crucial to heliocentrism, the understanding that the Earth and the planets go around the sun instead of the sun and moon and everything else going around the Earth. Heliocentrism has that gematria of 78. Heliocentric, another way to express the word, has gematria of 67, also connecting to his death. Very interesting. With the discovery of heliocentrism came the phrase solar system, understanding the system that goes around the sun. Solar system in gematria sums to 40, 58, which stands out, and 67, which stands out as well. Solar system in simple English gematria sums to 166, like secret society. It is Freemasonry that is the secret society that's been in place for thousands of years, that occupies so many things in this world. Governments, religion. Again, Saturn, the keeper of time, very special planet. The word rings in gematria sums to 67, and again, he died on a date with 67 numerology, connecting to the Landis from Italy. The phrase rings of Saturn has gematria of 181, the 42nd prime number. Again, Freemason 42. He died in the year 42. His initials GG, Galileo Galilei. GG 77, G is the seventh letter. It reminds me of Judaism. Think about this nation, the United States of America, supposedly discovered by Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was Jewish, paid for by the Catholic Church. What a lot of people don't understand about the Catholic Church is it was created by this same Jewish outfit. We are approaching the Jewish year 5777. The next time you turn on that show, Ancient Aliens, I think what that show is really about is the Jewish people and how long they've been around and how long they've had influence in this world. So the next planet discovered, Uranus. Uranus, a very suspicious name. Supposedly discovered March 13th, 1781, a date with a life lesson number of 33. Also a date with 97 numerology. It just reminds me that the word asshole has gematria of 79. Uranus, lying Masons, lying Jewish Zionists, deceiving the world with, bullshit propaganda over the years. The man who named the planet Uranus is Johann Elert Bode, named gematria of 67 like Freemasonry. For you U.S. citizens, the first recognized president, George Washington, a 33rd degree Master Mason, died at age 67 by the numbers. This guy's birthday stands out in a big way. Born January 19th in the year 47. 119 and 47, very special numbers to the Masons and Zionists. All-seeing eye equals 119. Star of David 119. Milky Way 119, the name of our galaxy. Date he was born, a date with a life lesson number of 39. The Jewish faith goes by the 39 books in the Old Testament. Also born on a date with 67 numerology, matching his name. His first name, Johann, has gematria of 26, also like the year he would die in, the God number. He would die in Berlin. Berlin equals 33. So much 33 in Germany. Everything about Adolf Hitler and the Nazis is all around 33. It's all Freemasonry. It's all part of an agenda. The world wars were about establishing the Jewish Zionist state of Israel. So much that has been done in this world has been for the sake of the Jewish Zionist control of this world that is very real and has been realized and which is crammed down our throats, such as the Jupiter mission on July 4th. Jewish equals 74, Jupiter, Goy. It's all part of a very grand mocking. The date he would die, November 23rd, was a date with 78 numerology, heliocentrism 78, part of the science from his discovery supporting this model. From the day he died until what would have been his birthday, what would have been his 80th birthday, was 58 days, that number. Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58, Science 58. 7 years before Johann named Uranus, he was also credited with discovering Messier 81. This was the same year the massive telescope was invented that found Uranus. The first discovery with it was Messier 81, another galaxy separate from the Milky Way that at the time further disproved the geocentric model and supported the model that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe. We were going around the sun, and possibly there was more out there. With regards to the year 74, remember Masonic 74, Jewish 74, that special number. Johann's name in English gematria sums to 888. What he discovered, Messier 81, and Pythagorean gematria 88. Messier just alone as a word, gematria of 88. Remember that 8 represents time, the infinite loop. And if the Freemasons truly are giving us false discoveries to manipulate us, then what they're trying to do is steer humanity off the true path and, make them live under this Masonic lie for all time, which might very well what we've been doing since the 1700s and earlier than that. So many people, their only understanding of space, and this is myself that I'm talking about, and many others, our only understanding comes from what we learned in public school. And many of us are now aware that so much that we learned in public school is straight up bullshit. So to think that the bullshit doesn't apply to what we learned about space is only to be kidding yourself. And most of us, we're not capable of researching the skies. It's a high-level task that requires knowledge, instruments. People like me who live in the Pacific Northwest, we can hardly ever even see the sky because it's always covered with clouds. So, space, what's out there, very easily, we, the people of Earth, can be manipulated with what we've been told. And I'm quite certain we have. That number 81, when written out, has gematria 54, like geocentric, like sun. Messier 81 helped dismiss the geocentric model. The man who discovered Uranus was Frederick William Herschel. Herschel, a name with 42 gematria, like Zionism, like Freemason. Next up, Neptune. Right away when I saw the discovery of Neptune, I got a big grin on my face because it's September 23rd, New Year's Day of the French Republican calendar. And as you'll see, the person credited with its discovery is French. This is also a date with numerology of 33, planets 33. Also a date with 96 numerology like Freemason. Numerology of 78 like heliocentrism. Planets in simple English gematria also sums to 87, the reflection of 78. It was also a date with numerology corresponding with Neptune. Neptune equals 32 in gematria, date with 32 numerology. Let's read about this. Two astronomers, Britain's John Couch Adams. By the way, the person who discovered Uranus was British. The entire world's under this Victorian British education system. And so many of the things that were taught about in science were discovered in Britain. If you've never seen my work on evolution and Piltdown Man, you got to check that out. That was a lie told to the world for 41 years, the first proof of evolution. Straight from the UK. Two astronomers, Britain's John Couch Adams and France's Urbain Le Verrier, had worked out the position of the hypothetical eighth planet independently from each other, and both had a difficult time convincing their colleagues to spend any time actually looking where they suggested the planet might be. The Berlin Observatory, remember Berlin equals 33, astronomer Johann Gottfried Galle used the calculations by Leverrier to find Neptune within just 1 degree of his predicted location and just 12 degrees of Adams' prediction. Both astronomers claimed that they were the first to discover the planet, and it led to an international dispute. After this discovery, there was rivalry between England and France. Think about how all these nations have red, white, and blue flags. Who should get credit for finding Neptune, Adams or Leverrier? The international astronomy community agreed that the two astronomers should share credit for the discovery. Eventually, both Leverrier and Adams were given credit for discovering Neptune in 1846. So I noticed John Couch Adams was born June 5th, which is the 156th day of the year. If you write out 33, it sums to 156. If you write out February 2nd as a word, it sums to 156. February 2nd is the 33rd day of the year. If you write out as above, so below, it sums to 156. 33 and 156 have a major relationship. Again, planets equals 33. This guy's given credit for discovering a planet. In our history, The movie Truman Show, named after the 33rd president, came out on June 5th, the 156th day of the year. The main character, Truman Burbank, equals 156. If you've never seen that movie, you should check it out because it fits right into this topic. It's about playing God over a man's life, giving him completely false understanding of the world he lives in, and, kind of doing it for somebody else's amusement. I'm telling you, these Masons have done this exact same thing to us, and these movies they give us, they are a mocking of our reality that most people don't pick up on. This man also died January 21st, a date that can be written 1/21 like Revelation, the book of prophecy that the Masons go by, or 21/1 like 211, the 47th prime. Remember how important 47 is to Zionism and Freemasonry? His name in Gematria, John Couch Adams, sums to 54, just like sun, like geocentric. The date he was born on, date with numerology connecting to Saturn. The date he died, life lesson number of 42, like Freemason, 24, like planets. From his birthday to his death was 137 days, which is the 33rd prime number for another 33. His name, John Couch Adams, has the gematria matching the key of David, which is this instrument in bringing about prophecy in the book of Revelation. And what this prophecy is the one world Jewish Zionist Masonic order that is already, it pretty much already is in place. It just grows worse, bigger, more bold each day. But I'm telling you, we the people of the world, if we wake up, we can destroy this order. We can take everything back, Right now what's going on is this gang, there's no opposition to what they're doing. There's no one standing up against them. There's no one trying to take away their media outlets, their publication companies, the way that they put out all their propaganda. There's no one checking this group. They have unchecked authority. The other man credited with the discovery is this Frenchman born on March 11th, 11/3, mainstream, dishonest, green screen. Remember we talked about this? Bava Kamal 113a, the Jewish text says it's okay for Jewish people to lie to people who aren't Jewish, goys. This guy's name in Gematria is the same as planets. His last name, Leverrier, same Gematria as Freemasonry. France, where Scottish Rite Freemasonry came to power. This planet was discovered exactly 47 years after the French Republican calendar began. The French Republican calendar began 1799, emphasis on 99. Remember, when you write out 13, it sums to 99. The French Revolution, which gave way to the French Republican calendar, was started by the Bavarian Illuminati, which was established May 1st, 1776, a date with 99 numerology, a date started by 13 families. 47 years after the French Republican calendar, France equals 47, Republican equals 47. We get the discovery of this planet on New Year's Day. You talk about doing things by the numbers. So, and here we come back to this Frenchman. The day he was born, date with a life lesson number of 25. It makes me think of Earth, the planet we live on. The date he died, a date with a life lesson number of 55, like sacrifice. But again, just to recap, Frenchman credited with the discovery of a planet on New Year's Day of the French Republican calendar, 47 years after it began, when France equals 47, when Republican equals 47. Just amazing how these same numbers they use for propaganda again and again over the years, from planets to false flag shootings. You go back and see my work on all the France false flags this year. These are the numbers we're talking about. September 23rd, 113. The Masons, they do all of their mind programming, if you want to call it that, scaring people through the TV, educating them about lies through textbooks. They do all of their programming by the numbers, again and again. So now we get to Pluto, the planet that's no longer. This is the only planet discovered by an American, and we'll look at why that's funny. Pluto, discovered also on a date with a life lesson number of 33. A date with 50 numerology as well. Think about the United States of America, 50 states, America equals 50. United States of America in gematria, the full way sums to 84, just like Pluto equals 84. This planet discovered by an American named Tombaugh. Tombaugh, 33 the small way, 87 the big way. Planets equals 33 the small way and 87 the big way. Think about it. Tombaugh was born February 4th, a date that can be written 4/2, just like Freemason equals 42. February is also the only month that sums to 42 in gematria. He died in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Think about what's down there. He died on a date with 44, life lesson number. Kill equals 44, space equals 44. Also a date with 35 numerology, NASA 35. Employee of NASA. Again, the name of our galaxy that these planets supposedly exist within, Milky Way 119, All-Seeing Eye 119, Star of David 119. Makes me think of the hit space show, movie Star Wars, which came out in 77. Star Wars 119. We just saw the guy who played R2-D2 die at age 81 days after the anniversary of the Star Wars release. Remember how we talked about how Venus equals 81, the sister planet of Earth? That might factor in to his death as well. Milky Way in gematria, the small way, also sums to 47, just like Star Wars. The Freemasons, builders, have something called Euclid's 47th problem about establishing foundation. So now let's think about, one of these instruments that NASA has been using to deliver us images of space, the Hubble telescope. Recently, on Crow's podcast, he had a undergrad student talking about how he did a bunch of research and he is quite convinced that the Hubble telescope doesn't even exist. It's a complete fiction. Well, what I can tell from my research is that the date it went into operation, April 24th, 1990, that was a date with 137 numerology, the 33rd prime number. Also a date with 47 numerology. Over the years, the fictitious stories that we've been given, they've been coded with these exact same numbers again and again. This telescope supposedly launched from Kennedy Space Center. Kennedy, one of those names with 33 gematria. Notice that Hubble in America, also the same. They say that the telescope is 13.3 meters long. I mean, there's a 3 right in that. The word government also sums to 133. Government operation. Remind you what's interesting about NASA and NACA, which came before it. We talked about how NASA was established in the year 58, Freemasonry 58, Science 58. The Twilight Zone had its pilot episode that year in 58. Rod Serling equals 58, who wrote the Twilight Zone. This was a date, though, with 113 numerology, that number of Masonic, mainstream, dishonest lies. Also a date with 41 numerology, the 13th prime. Before there was NASA, there was NACA, which was started on, look at what date, March 3rd, 1915. March 3rd, 1915, 3-3. The 62nd day of the year. And again, I just want to remind that the bill to recognize NASA was in July, but it was October 1st, the day that it was finally set up. October 1st, October the only month with 33 gematria, a lot like the 3-3 start date for NACA. The numerology of the NACA date, 40 like United States, and 22 the master builder number, again coming back to foundation. 4 is the number of foundation, both 40 and 22 break down to 4 in numerology. Here's just a recent headline, just another example of how much NASA loves 33. On March 30th, 2015, astronaut Scott Kelly's twin brother Mike pulls a fast one on NASA. And if you read the article, it's about how he shaved his mustache. And when he does that, You can't tell him apart from his brother. NASA over the years has used many twin astronauts, which is very suspicious. Why are they using twins? I think the reason why is so that they can have these people play multiple parts. Well, here's what I'm saying. I think the reason why is because they're really not twins and there's really just one of them, but they say there's two. Because over the years, they'll often say one of the twins is on Earth while the other's in space. And, they put them both up at the same time on TV, but you have to remember, we live in this age of advanced technology. The movie Multiplicity came out 20 years ago. There's about 50 Michael Keatons on the screen, and as we all know, there's only one Michael Keaton. So this kind of stuff can easily be done. Putting two people on TV at the same time, having them talk to a pre-recorded conversation. March 30th, 3 plus 30, 33. They got this big talker on TV all the time, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Why the hell does everyone know his name? And just think about it, Neil Armstrong, deGrasse Tyson. I'll show you what's up with this deGrasse name. Notice he was born October 5th, 1958, 4 days after NASA started. NASA officially began October 1st, 58. That name deGrasse in Pythagorean gematria sums to 33. His full name in simple English, 211, the 47th prime number. The word agent equals 47. Neil deGrasse Tyson, an agent of propaganda. He has been describing the Earth as pear-shaped recently when he goes on TV. Pear-shaped has gematria of 93, like propaganda, also like Saturn. Recently, NASA releases stunning photo of Earth. Supposedly this was a new photo, and I just like that it was from somebody named Robert Zimmerman. Robert's a name with 33 gematria. Zimmerman is a name with gematria corresponding with Revelation, the book of prophecy, also 112. Zionist equals 112. Masonry, Zionism, Jupiter. No coincidence. A lot of Roberts and Michael in the media if you pay attention. The names Robert and Michael used again and again because their names were 33 gematria. The International Space Station, the first date anybody went in the International Space Station was November 2nd, 2000. 11 plus 2 plus 20 plus 00 is 33. International Space Station occupied on a date with 33 numerology. Here's the other thing you need to know. ISS, as it's called, that's 9 plus 19 plus 19, which equals 47. That date, November 2nd, can be written 2/11, day before month, a lot like 211, the 47th prime. So the first people went on the ISS on a date with 33 numerology, connecting to 47, connecting to what it's commonly called. So much 33. And just understand that what I'm showing you in this video, it's not everything. I'm just trying to give you a good sample of so many things. I've done numerous videos in the past showing how many space missions are centered around 33. Even when they put out senseless propaganda like this, exclusive, NASA employees caught buying child porn from site which showed three-year-olds being abused. Remember, only 3 states in the United States sum to 33, the first and last and the 6th. But anyway, these 3-year-olds being abused, this child porn from Belarus has gematria of 33. All this information is just meant to make your head spin. It's all part of a grand Masonic mindfuck. Here's a good one. Here is a good one. If you read this article, one of the Mars rovers that was sent to Mars that's now on the planet was supposedly made with scrap metal from the World Trade Centers. And I guarantee you this is complete bullshit. If you read the story, it says this wasn't announced until a year after it was already done. But look at this. The mission with this Mars rover made from 9/11 scrap debris, the Mars Exploration Rover Spirit was launched from Cape Canaveral, CC. What's C, the third letter? CC-33. There they have the runway 33. It's even its name. Cape Canaveral Air Force Station on June 10th, 2003. So why did they do it June 10th, 2003? That date can be written 10/6, a lot like 106, which is the number of prophecy. The first U.S. state established on a date with 106 numerology, just like the Zionist nation of Israel. This was also a date with 39 numerology, which is the big number in New York. New York equals 39, New York State of Establishment 39, NY 39, the United Nations is 39 floors tall there, the word empire equals 39, and so much more. This was a tribute to the World Trade Centers that fell in New York, a mission launched on a date with 39 numerology, and of course they call it the rover, right? The Mars rover. The reason they use the word rover is because rover sums to 33. NASA releases new image of Earth. And from this one, it's from the EPIC imaging camera. EPIC, of course, is another word with 33 gematria. That's why NASA uses the EPIC camera. Another good one, the Orion Deep Space Capsule. Here's how they create these names. If you've ever wondered where these names come from, they all come from gematria. Orion Deep Space Capsule sums to 113. We've gone over it. Space Shuttle Atlantis. It went on its 33rd and final mission. Atlantis went on 33 missions. Atlantis in gematria sums to 33. If you want to watch something funny, watch the Simpsons cartoon about the Freemasons. There's a Simpsons song called We Do. We Do equals 47. If you search Simpsons We Do on YouTube, it'll come up. A little song about who keeps Atlantis off the map, and a whole lot more. Tribute to the Freemasons worshiping 33. Simpson equals 33 as well. The man credited with making the discovery of Project Bluebeam, which he connected back to NASA, died on a date with 33 and 113 numerology. Makes me wonder if that's also propaganda as well. Space Shuttle Endeavour, that was the space shuttle that sent the first black woman into space. That happened on a date with 33 numerology. Not by coincidence. Launched on a date with 33 numerology and concluded on a date with 33 numerology. The phrase race war has gematria of 33. So many things that are done to divide us racially are also by these numbers. Again, it all comes back to mind control. So let's wrap this up by talking about the shape of the Earth, the spherical Earth versus the flat Earth, a movement that has become very popular in the last year, mostly based on online research. Within the flat Earth community, I see a lot of hypocrisy. I see a lot of arguments such as, well, look, NASA's never put out a real photo of the Earth, so that is proof it's flat. Whereas you can easily counter and say, well, you don't have any photographic support of the edge of the Earth, so how can you be so certain it's flat? And what I recommend people do is take a step back and be willing to say that they don't know the truth about the shape of the Earth. Entertain the thought that they've been lied to. Entertain the thought that the Earth is a sphere. Entertain the thought that the Earth is flat. Consider it all and continue compiling evidence until you can make a very sound and solid case. I'm yet to see that be done by anyone within the flat Earth community. And at the same time, there's a lot of holes with the spherical Earth. But even still, knowing what I know and how much we've been lied to and how much deception is upon us, to me, the spherical Earth still makes more sense than the flat Earth because of things such as the sunset. I live out on the West Coast. The sun sets over the ocean. You can watch it disappear beyond the horizon. I've seen these flat Earth videos trying to explain that the sun goes out of people's sight and it just seems to go behind a horizon. These arguments don't make any sense to me. When you watch the sun disappear beyond the horizon, it seems to be, very strong evidence that the Earth is not flat. And then you start to consider things such as tide. The flat Earth model, it doesn't explain tide well. It doesn't explain the seasons well. We live in a complicated world. And to truly know the truth of it, I don't know if that's possible for any one of us to attain. But perhaps working as a team, using the technology, the know-how we have, we can come to truthful conclusions. So, something the flat earth community points out a lot is the axis of the earth. Supposedly we're at this tilt right here, leaving a 66.6 degree angle left. And a lot of Christians are saying, aha, further proof of the satanic agenda, taking us away from the Bible, the true flat earth. And here's what I want to shed light on with regards to these numbers. Both of these numbers connect to 666. If you look at 23.4 as the number 234, its reflection is 432. 234 plus 432 sums to 666. Show you something here. You know pi, what you learned about in geometry class, having to do with cycles and circles like the world we live in, day and night, cycles, circles, seasons. The number for pi has everything to do with cycles and circles. If you add the first 144 decimal points of pi together, they sum to 666. And the number 144 and the number 666 are both used in Revelation, the book of prophecy. And again, in the Bible, most books, Revelation is the 66th book. Revelation makes 666 infamous in the verse 13:18. And if you take the number 6 alone and write it out as a word, 6 sums to 52, just like prophecy and Pythagorean gematria. So 6, 66, and 666 all connect to prophecy, which all has to do with time. And regarding time, time in Jewish gematria sums to 144. Each day there's 1,444 minutes. Take the 0 off the end, you're right back to 144. The square root of 144 is 12, 12 months in a year, 12 hours in the morning, in the evening, the way we tell time. These numbers are directly related. And what it makes me think of is they have to have a basis in something. There's somewhere in this world that they have to have gained their significance from. And is it that the earth truly is a sphere and truly is at this angle? And that's where these numbers come from originally? You know, these are questions I'm asking. And what I've been doing since the end of 2013 is working at this research, compiling this data, trying to make sense of it all. And it's a lot of work. It's a challenging task. That's why I always ask people who watch my videos to help with the research, contribute the knowledge, help take it to the next step. But if you're someone who's in the flat earth camp or the spherical earth camp and you're certain you know the shape of the earth, the way it is, you know, I think you should have more humility and be willing to admit that this is a monumental topic and we are, you know, very tiny creatures in relation to this earth we live on. You know, it might be that in our lifetime we never fully find out the truth. And that could be the same predicament for the powers that be who govern over us. You know, for the powers that be, they want to be the authority. They want to control the minds of the masses, and perhaps they don't know for sure either, so they have to lie and forge information just to control people. And also, I mean, just think about what it is to rule and to have this knowledge, you know. In the masses, you gain credibility. So there's a reason to lie and deceive and control. And we, the people, were the victims of that reasoning. Just things to think about. We talked a lot about the number 47. I want to remind that time and 47 both have, or time and beast both have gematria 47. The phrase mark of the beast has gematria of 144. Time, beast. See how all these numbers come together? Before we can prove that the earth is a shape, I think something that we can do a lot more quickly is figure out how far away the sun really is. And I would bet all of my worth, all of my wealth, that the distance of 93 million miles is most definitely a Masonic lie. So yes, we've been lied to, but how deep the lies go, you know, that's another topic For those of you convinced the earth is flat, remember the Freemasons once taught that the earth was flat. They taught that before that they taught it was a sphere. And that's what you see a lot of people doing right now, going between this or that, flat or sphere. In reality, there's always more options. There's never just this or that. That's the way we've been programmed by the Freemasons, who believe in duality and divide and conquer. They want us to have that this or that thinking. The Illuminati card game came out in 1982. It was reprinted in 1994. One of the original cards was Flat Earth Theory. In 2015, the Flat Earth Theory got really popular, 33 years after that card game. Hopefully I explained this information clearly enough. Until next time.